Hello, my name is Rick Adams, and I'm the CEO at Practical CSM and at the Success Hub. And today I want to talk to you about using customer success to expand customer revenues. So, when we think about customer success management, the obvious tasks our CSMs get up to is what we normally refer to as onboarding and adoption. And onboarding means taking a new customer and getting them up to the level of understanding so that they've got a basic knowledge of what to do and how to do it so they can get going and start to generate value from whatever they've purchased. And the adoption is the ongoing process then. So onboarding is the initial, adoption is the ongoing process of refining and improving and learning that they go through until they master our product and their processes are perfect and they are now getting the maximum value out of our products and services. And that is is a long-term project, if you like. And so that mastery, when we're at the adoption stage, we want to be continuing to work with the customer as the CSM because we can influence them now in other ways. Once they've seen that we've got something of use to them and of value to them, they are, first of all, they're more likely to trust us and to trust our opinions than they were initially. So we're now in a position of greater power and authority to be able to make recommendations to the customer by virtue of the fact that, having worked with them for a while, they have seen that when we said this would happen, it would, and it has, and now they're getting value from what they've already purchased from us. And also they're happy with us because they're getting that value. So let's assume that all of that has been happening, and we are now in the comfortable position of working with them regularly, to continue to adopt and to get the maximum value out of the product that they have purchased from us. And what we want to do now is we want to look for, well, how can we expand this relationship with our customer? And there are a number of ways that we might be able to do that. And it does really depend, a lot on circumstances here. It depends on the size of the customer, the numbers of the different departments and their openness to discussions with us, and the depth and breadth of our portfolio, and so on and so forth. So if we only sell one product and it's very specialist and they've already bought it, maybe there isn't a lot of opportunity within that organization that is left. Maybe we can sell more of that one product. We don't have anything else in our portfolio, well, we can't sell anything else. Maybe on the other hand, we've got a whole suite of different products that are complementary to each other, and the customer has bought item A from our catalogue, but items B, C and D could well be of value to them as well, if only we could convince them that that was the case. If that's the situation, then that we've got some exciting opportunities, bearing in mind that it costs a lot of money to create a net new customer, because you've got to create awareness, i.e. they've got to know you exist, and that takes money, where you've got to do sponsorships and brand awareness campaigns and advertising of that nature. And then they've got to know which products and services you have. They've got to know that you're a trustable, reliable brand. They've got to be able to know the features and functions of our products and services, and all of that sales process that's going to go on. The salesperson is going to take a fairly large commission as well for the work that they do. So all in all, to attract a prospect in and make them a customer for the first time is an expensive process, a very expensive process. And an existing customer, on the other hand, well, they already are aware of us. They already know the quality of what we do. They already know that we're the type of business that they're comfortable to do business with. They already know our contract terms, legally, and are comfortable with them. There's so much that's already been done that doesn't have to be done for the first time compared to the first time net new purchaser. And so, not just half, but, a very large part of the work is done. What obviously is still needed is for them to make another purchase. So, of course, the obvious other purchase is a renewal. We've talked about renewals elsewhere. So let's think about outside of the box. Let's think about outside of renewals. What else might the customer purchase? Well, we're talking about upselling and cross-selling. And an upsell means more of the same thing, and a cross-sell means different things being sold into the organization. So more of the same thing might, for example, refer to where you have purchased, that they have purchased 50 user licenses for software X, and next year they purchase 200 software licenses for software X. So that would be a classic upsell. They've bought 4 times the quantity in their second year than they purchased in their first year. Now, why might they do that? Well, they might do that because they are risk averse and they are concerned that the product doesn't do as much or as well as you said it would do. And so they want to limit the downside and not go for all 200 licenses in year one. Let's try with 50, maybe let's try in one department or one region or whatever. And if it does work out, we'll monitor and we'll measure and manage, and we will see. And if it does work out, well, then next year we will increase the investment and make 4 times the investment, as we've just discussed. And so this is a really good way for the customer to have an entry into our product and to try it and make sure that it's what they want without going all in straight away where the risk is higher because they haven't had any experience of it. So they gain experience in year one and then move to a larger tranche, maybe in year 2, then maybe even larger in year 3. Maybe they'll move to 1,000 licenses in year 3, and where it was one office in year 1, one region in year 2. It's the whole world now that they're going to implement this for in year 3, for example. Okay, so that is something where we're talking about an expand opportunity, and in particular, the expand opportunity is an upsell. Now, is it an upsell if this was pre-planned? Well, maybe not, but arguably, 2 or 3 years later, it's still going to need reselling, and the customer's still going to need to be reassured on this. So I would say, to a large extent, there's work needs to be done. So why not describe it as as a reselling process? And I think that increasingly that is something that customer success managers are getting involved in, and quite right too. So why do I say that? Well, because customer success managers are really at the heart of the post-sales delivery of professional services to our customers. They have got, or should have, really strong relationships with the customer stakeholders. They're building rapport, they're building trust, they're building friendships in there, and they're coming into those, helping those individuals to get what they need out of the relationship between us and them and the products that they have purchased, and not just playing lip service to that, but really being there to help. And by doing that, building strong relationships that enable us to have these so what's next conversations around how we can perhaps implement more. And this again then comes from an inquiring mind and a good imagination and creativity to think about the art of the possible. Do we know our products and services and the features and functions of them? Do we understand how they could be applied in various different situations to overcome various challenges or difficulties or problems? And if we have got a really good grasp on the art of the possible, how well do we know our customer, so that we happen to know that if they've got problem X, Y, and Z, and we know they have because we've done our research, we can start talking to them about features A, B, and C of products, whatever. Because those features are going to help them with those challenges. And we've got maybe evidence to prove that through case studies and so on and so forth. And so we've got an interesting conversation that we can have with the customer if only they would listen. So this is all about, remember, using customer success to reduce churn, increase renewals, and to expand our revenues through expand opportunities. And as I said, really, when we're talking about expand opportunities, we're talking about the upsell and the cross sell. And we've talked about upsell. So what about the cross sell? Well, this really is a case of open-mindedness, of having an inquiring mind, being inquisitive, being nosy would be another way of putting it, and going out there and talking to customer stakeholders about the types of actual problems that they have, and learning about what's working well for them right now, what isn't working well, where are their challenges or problems or headaches or pain points, and why are they a pain point? What would be the thing that would take that away, and do we have it in our portfolio? Is there something we've got up our sleeves that we can say, you've got that problem? Well, actually, we've got something that deals directly with that. Let me show you how it works. And so this is the power of the cross sell, is having done a good job with challenge A, the customer is more likely to trust us with challenge B. But they won't necessarily do the work for us. They won't join up the dots. They won't necessarily think that just because we help them with A, we could also help them with B. It may not cross their minds. And this is one of the problems, is we've got to get over only having conversations about A and start to have conversations about B as well. Or because we don't even know B exists, stopping from having conversations just about A and having conversations about everything in the business, whatever they're doing. We've got to learn and sort of suck in, where the problems and opportunities lie, what's keeping them awake at night, what that they're worrying about implementing, what do they need to do to hit their targets and their goals and objectives, and then thinking about that in the context of our products and services, and coming up with interesting, imaginative solutions that involve our products and services, and then presenting those to the customer to say, look, this is the sort of thing that we can help you with. Now that becomes a very powerful relationship where you've got the trust because you've already been fulfilling on the promises that you made initially, built then upon what else does that customer need, and how can we help them even more to get more value out of what we've already got, but also out of other things that they could purchase. So there's some ideas about how customer success can be used to expand customer revenues. And this, of course, is the lifeblood of your organization, because if you can expand your customer revenues, maybe even double the revenues from any one customer, well, then you're onto a massive winner in terms of growth, in terms of profitability, and in terms of how well your organization is considered by its investors. Okay, so that's it for this session. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it very much.